First time I ever got lean, I did it without tracking my calories. So this is everything I did to get lean without tracking my calories. One important thing to remember is, just because you aren't tracking your calories doesn't mean calories don't exist. You still need to be in a calorie deficit. And the first thing you need to learn is how to eat more. You need to eat foods that take up a lot of space on your plate and in your stomach, but also have less calories. And this is done by eating high volume foods. These foods maximize the amount of food you eat, but also minimize the amount of calories you eat, so you feel full while still losing fat. And it's an amazing feeling. And realistically, when you're losing fat, no one wants to starve themselves. Ideally, you want to feel full. And these will be foods such as your fruits, your potatoes, your sweet potatoes, your chicken breast, the white fish, lean cuts of beef, lean chicken thighs, for example. And 9 times out of 10, foods that will keep you full for longer are clean, whole foods. Because if you aren't tracking and you're eating small, addictive, ultra-processed, calorie-dense, extremely non-satiating, high sugar, zero nutrient foods, then you're gonna find it hard to lose fat. And when you're in a calorie deficit, you're gonna be a little bit lower in energy anyway. So when you're eating foods that are higher in micronutrients, this will keep your energy high, keep your belly full, and just make you feel great during the whole process. Another thing I like to focus on is naturally suppressing my appetite. So the way I do this is by drinking a coffee first thing in the morning. I drink coffee, 1, because I enjoy the taste of coffee. 2, gives me a little energy boost in the morning. And 3, it's a very good natural appetite suppressant because of the caffeine. When I'm specifically trying to lose fat, I'll go for a double espresso or an iced Americano, mainly because I try to avoid liquid calories when I'm trying to lose fat. I find that when I drink a coffee first thing in the morning, I don't really have that deep, hungry, craving feeling for eating food. I eat because I choose to eat. Don't overdo it with the coffee. Just have 1 coffee in the morning and you're set for the rest of the day. A good way to prevent yourself from binging on foods that you know you shouldn't be eating is by actually never having them in the first place. So just don't bring them to your house. By not bringing them to your house in the first place, you massively reduce your chances of having them, especially late at night when you're most likely to binge. And if it does end up in your house, put it somewhere where you won't see it. Out of sight, out of mind. Because when you hide it from yourself, you'll eventually forget it's there. Also, when you're hungry, don't eat the unhealthy food first. Wait until you have your big meal, the one that's full of your proteins, your healthy fats, and good carb sources. Eat that first, drink some water, wait a good 15 minutes, and then see if you still want the unhealthy foods. Because 9 times out of 10, it's just a craving. You don't need it. And if you do want a little snack, just have some fruit. It's good for you, man. It tastes good. You can't say yes to everything. You have to have some rules and you need to know when to say no. Because if you're someone who constantly doesn't say no and allows themselves to eat whatever they want to eat, whenever they want to eat it, you are a person who lacks self-discipline. And I'm basically talking to my younger self here, right? So don't take any offense. This is something I wish I told myself growing up. And if you feel like you can resonate with this message, then I'm talking to you. You need to have some rules, you need to have some systems set in place to make sure you don't overeat on foods that are bad for you. That's the only way. And the self-control you gain by learning to say no to yourself when it comes to foods can be translated to many different areas of your life. You'll become a much more disciplined person. That's a good thing to be. The way we lose fat is by 1, adjusting our input, which is when you control your diet, fix your diet to make sure you're not intaking too many calories. And by 2, controlling your output, which is when you move more to burn more calories. A good way of moving more is by walking more, so going on frequent walks throughout the day. So in the morning, go for a little 30-minute coffee walk, 30-minute walk in the evening, listening to a podcast or an audiobook or even some music. Playing a sport is something I also recommend, mainly because it's fun and the people there will also hold you accountable. If you're not there, they're gonna call you up and be like, mate, where you at? I was expecting to see you here at 8 p.m. sharp, If you don't want to play a sport and you really want to burn some calories outside of walking, then setting the treadmill to its max incline on a speed 3 will be a great way to burn some extra calories without doing any damage to your joints. It's also pretty low intensity, so you could just put your phone there, watch some anime, maybe watch your favorite TV show, and by adding an extra 20 to 30 minute incline treadmill walk to the end of your workouts, you will make a massive difference to the amount of calories you burn throughout the week, through the month, and throughout the year. Movement is a key part of fat loss and just a key part of life, so just pick up a sport, hobby, or some form of boring cardio that you can maintain and sustain for a very long time. and then that way fat loss will become inevitable. Just start by fixing your diet, and then when you fix your diet, your mood and energy levels are higher, which means you're more motivated to go to the gym. When you're in the gym, you have more energy, which means you'll feel more motivated to do a 20 to 30 minute incline walk at the end of the session. And when you do a 20 to 30 minute incline walk at the end of the session, that means your cardiovascular system will be better. And when your cardiovascular system is better, you have more energy and you're more motivated to clean up your diet. It's just an endless positive feedback cycle, a domino effect of just good things that come from fixing your diet. It's an amazing feeling to have. Try it today. Start right now. Fixing your diet is something you can do from right now. Just throw away anything that's bad for you, buy things that are good for you, and your life will change for the better. I guarantee it. This is me talking to you right now personally. Guarantee it. If you fix your diet, everything else will be 10 times better. Do it. Trust me. Just believe me. I'm not lying to you. And just to let you know, if you are struggling with your training and your diet and you need some extra guidance aside from these YouTube videos, then press the link in the description for one-on-one coaching if you're interested. Another good way to increase your output is by having more muscle mass on your body. It's essentially like paying rent. Your muscles are very expensive to maintain, and by expensive I mean it costs calories to maintain. So this will mean that you can eat more food and stay lean by having more muscle. Even when you're just sitting down doing absolutely niche, your body will eat up more calories just because you have more muscle. You know, that's not an excuse to not do your cardio. Do your cardio. When I first got lean without tracking my calories, I was mainly doing calisthenics as my main form of resistance training, mainly because I didn't have access to a gym. And if you only really care about how you look and the amount of muscle that you build, then you should be following a resistance training program that prioritizes hypertrophy and lets you hit each muscle group twice per week. As well as that, make sure you prioritize your compound lifts, as they basically increase the amount of load you can actually apply onto your body, which induces a very good hormonal response, increases your bone density, and of course increases your muscle mass, as you are now hitting many muscles at once, which means many muscles will grow at once. Alongside your compounds, do a few isolations to target smaller muscle groups. One important factor that many beginners skip out on is not following a resistance training program from the beginning. Many people just walk into the gym trying to guess their workouts on the go, and this is very counterproductive, as ideally you want to know what you're doing before you even get to the gym. And if you don't already have a resistance training program, I put a link in the description to where you can get a full 40-page 3-month resistance training program. And that's essentially everything you need to know to lose fat without tracking your calories. So like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Follow me on Instagram. I'm relatively active on there. And it's been a pleasure talking to you. My name is Iyad Harishi, by the way.